What's popping? Internet. For what it's worth, my 2 cents, which may be limited, but I wanted to jump on quickly and just mention karma, because karma sounds like this hippie woo-woo kind of nonsense of like, it's kind of bullshit and it doesn't really happen or mean anything, and like hippies and weirdos generally talk about it, but the universe is balanced, the yin and the yang, right? So everything that you put out, you get back. So if you think about that phrase, what was it? That phrase, you get out what you put in. That kind of works with everything, so it seems. So if you work hard, you get results. But then if you're good, you also get good back. And like attract like. You know, this law of attraction stuff. There seems to be some like credibility to that. Like, if you can pick up pattern recognition and you can start to see where these things are coming back, or say, so I once had, when I was at uni, I got my house broken into, loads of stuff robbed, and I just spent the summer in Ibiza, not behaving myself. And it occurred to me at that point, there was like a switch that went off. And I was like, oh shit, that's probably payback for whatever I was doing over there. I mean, I wasn't robbing anyone, but I wasn't necessarily living my life in like a healthy or empathetic way to others and things like that, I guess, would be the best way of putting it. And it seems like, so you work hard, you get results, you be nice, you get nice back, and you attract the energy that you put out. So have you ever noticed, so like if you do something in life, I mean, I've tried to live like as righteous life as possible for quite a long time now. You know, like not breaking the 10 Commandments and like really focusing down on being like the best me that I can possibly be. And where I'm trying to go with this is, in life you get out what you put in. So obviously the situation now, I try to steer clear of the news because I feel like it brings down my how I feel. I feel shitter, I feel lower, and then I like for like attract that. Whereas I try and do, you know, listen to reggae music, which is high vibration, and do things that are going to lift me up rather than pull me down, so that I can pull more good in and be in the good energy and bring that in. Where I'm going with this is, obviously, from my limited understanding of what's happening in the world at the moment, because I just steer clear of it, there is obviously a lot in the social news space, the social media space, of the atrocities that happen around the world. The only good thing that I wanted to share from this is that this might be the starting of a happier, newer world where the people that are causing these famines and these children to suffer, there is no escape from what they're putting out to what they're getting back. And when you hurt someone, as long as the recipient, so for example in my case, if I've been fucked but then I don't reply, peaceful non-compliance, don't share, don't gossip, don't sink to the level of others that have potentially laid shit on me, you don't sink to the level, you then will attract and get that back multiplied. So the bad karma that they dish out will go back to sender, and then you will also reap the benefit of handling it in the right way, being the bigger person, because it builds you up after, it makes you the bigger person. If you're the bigger person, you may not see it directly in the conscious understanding of what's going on mano a mano, but it will raise you up. And what I'm trying to say is, even though all of this shit is like horrible, I don't delve too deeply into it, but I can see on people's stories, and I can see, obviously, when I walk into the shop, there's like starving children on the news and things like that. And there is a possibility that because of all of this shit, we are entering into a much more positive world and positive universe and positive place, where the people that control and are eliciting and making these problems happen, they will no longer, there's only so long that God will allow that to happen, and it has to go back into balance. Like, it's not like a conscious choice, it's just everything is in balance. So the things that are now are going on are so bad that when they rebalance, it's going to end up being so good. But from the best advice that I can share is that as long as you try your best to be a good person, you don't dish out revenge, because I've heard people say that when something bad happens to them, like I saw there's a car near me that's been painted all black, obviously in like a revenge thing. If you don't deal, if someone fucks you and you don't reply, you don't gossip, you don't slander, you don't cause revenge, you take it and you be the bigger person. That in life will lead you down roads where you will get rewarded for it down the line, but it won't be directly linked to that. It'll just be, you'll be risen up and you will get the benefit of said situation multiplied, as long as you don't sort of feed into tit for tat playing games and fall and get pulled into doing the same back, sink to their level type thing. So what I'm saying is, it, as much as it is difficult and horrible and challenging, and like that isn't a complete understatement, there, for my mind, balance will be restored, and if we can all live our lives in a more sort of righteous or humanitarian in a certain sense, but it's not even that deep. It's more like, just don't be an arsehole. Be nice to people. It's nice to be nice. Let people go at traffic light, like at T-junctions and stuff like that. That's how you build good karma. If you're doing it consciously, like you're doing it like when people do nice things on the internet but they record it, that's not the same thing. Just doing good stuff to be good, that's the kind of stuff that you'll get back. And it won't be because you want to show it on the internet. It will be because you were doing it because it's the right thing to do. And then you'll start to build up your own sort of karmic bank, which you can add into or take away from, and everything goes back into balance. So I think perhaps on the other side of all of this mess and other side of all of this confusion and mess that we find ourselves in, the people that are creating the mess, it has to go back into balance. And as long as you're doing your best to be a good person, especially if we do that on a wider timeline, a wider time frame, a wider, more expansive sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Plain's the wrong word, but if we all did it, then I think that we would quite quickly, and try and be conscious of it. Like notice, like, so for example, like if you do karma becomes from you going against your moral compass in any way. And if you can lock onto that, and if you can do something that you kind of know you shouldn't do, you'll then get it back. And if you can be open to the pattern recognition, you can actually see it happen. And that's what happened with me. And that's why I was like, oh shit, well so for example, once I threw a wrapper out of I think it was an orange peel actually, but I threw something out of the car window. And I thought to myself, I shouldn't do that. And I chucked it out. And then immediately, within seconds, something had happened. And I was like, someone drove up my arse straight away or something like that. And I was like, oh shit. Maybe that was because my mind was already clocking onto this stuff and trying to notice the pattern recognition. But anyway, rambling a bit now, but if you just try and be a good person and you stick to the 10 Commandments and you just be respectful, and I'm not saying you need to choose a side with regards to faith, it's just the same, it's just different languages for the same thing. And actually, I think picking sides is probably counterintuitive, but there's a huge difference between organised religion and faith. And have faith and trust the process. Over and out.